Welcome, your war chief is back with another epic video. Hi, my name's PBE, but you lovely people are more than welcome to call me Peeps. Today's video is a labor of love, and a gentle reminder that you can love something and be critical of it. This video might ruffle some feathers, but I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to talk about why the Arthas novel was bad. I know this is a touchy subject. I'm well aware. But I think we can do this gracefully, hopefully. But before that, if you're into lore videos, Warcraft, or just nerdy stuff in general, you're home. Hit that subscribe button. Because listen, we tend to do nerdy here pretty well. Alright, enough messing around. Let's get into the mess that the Arthas novel was right now. I know that Arthas' character is a tough one. We all love his story. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm also a fangirl of Christie Golden. I admit this, openly. However, this is my views on the book, and yes, I think it was a hard miss. And I'm not gonna make any secret of that, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Because this is the subject that it is, I'm asking you guys nicely, keep it civil in the comments. You are more than welcome to debate. We're all friends here. We all love Warcraft. Remember that. We have to start here. Let's be real. To me, what makes this book so bad is that it was poorly written. The basis of this book and what went wrong with it is that it's either A, poorly written, B, too short, or C, not written to be a novel, or D, all of the above. We're going to touch on all of that here, so hang tight. Arthas' story is a deep, complicated one. It's a story of high expectations from a boy, betrayal, whether it's within himself or the people around him, in his views, impossible decisions, being cursed or coerced, and the acceptance of all of the above. Simply put, this should be an emotional mess of a journey. And it's a story of gradual change into who he became. This is not a redemption arc. This is a descent into madness. The first major problem with this novel is there isn't a slow descent. No, Arthas got kicked off the goddamn cliff. Boom, madness. Everything that is so crucial in this story that made him who he is glanced over. Everything that is done is a page or two of content. You really don't get who Arthas is except for the bare bones minimum. Let me give you an example. The most descriptive thing in this novel is the rise from the dead of his horse. Is that a moment for Arthas? Yes, absolutely. This is his first real rise. Symbolic. Did it need to be longer than the entire culling of Stratholme? Yeah, it was. The actual event in Stratholme was shorter than the event of the horse coming out of the grave. Let me give you another example. He learns about the Lich King. He finds out this person has a name. He finds out this person has a sword. And on the same page, he decides he's now going to follow him and listen to him. No conflict. Remember, Arthas is a boy who spent 15 plus years learning the ins and outs of becoming a king of a kingdom. He is a prince. Just look at our own reality. We see that today. They go through tons of training, of courses, politics, finances. Arthas took armed training. He's been all over the world. You name it, he's done it. But he gets told about an undead king and he's like, cool story, bro. Almost like the Jedi story, not gonna lie. So I have two conclusions about how this book was written. One, it was meant to be 2 books. It's the only thing that I can think of. I'm almost willing to bet that it was meant to be 2 books. And I can even see an easy divide of where it should have been 2 books. Arthas, the prince, or Arthas, the boy king. That can be his upbringing, his training, his love interest, and then the culling of Stratholme. And it can end with the murder of his father. And then book 2 would be Arthas, the Lich King, helping Illidan, killing Sylvanas, Uther, and actually seating his ass on that throne. You know, there's actually so little of the story of that side. It almost felt like it was rushed through so that it would fit in that one novel. It really didn't make sense for me. Now, my second conclusion is that this book was not written to be a book. It was written to be quest lines. Think about it. All of the moments are very short. They're very action-based. There's not a whole lot of emotion put into it. It's not written as a book would be. And there's some evidence to prove that. And honestly, it's why it took me so long after I read the book to make this video. I found some shit out. So last week I did a reaction video on the Frozen Throne cinematics. There was a reason for that. It wasn't random. Once I finished the book, I was disappointed with how the story was so a summary of, rather than a novel. So I started Googling it up. Maybe there's something I missed. Maybe I did something poorly. Maybe I didn't get maybe it was something with me. And the more I looked into it, the more I realized almost all of the major action moments in the book, the thoughts, the sentences said out loud, they're all in Warcraft 3. Yeah. And this is how I found it out. A conversation with Kel'Thuzad was word for word when I found that research and I found the YouTube videos showing the actual cinematics. So yeah, most of the major moments in the book are in Warcraft 3. They're voice lined and it's disappointing. Simply put, this book was compiled set of quests from Warcraft 3 with a little bit of extra description. Packaged, sealed, sold as a new novel. I genuinely enjoy Christie Golden's writing, specifically because she has a way of showing that inner thought, that emotion, so subtly. But reading this really felt like it was written by somebody else. And I want to admit, this is easy money for Blizz, and this probably was exactly that, a money grab. Package it, sell it, it's got Arthas' name on it, money. I don't know the behind the scenes and the choices made behind this book, but I certainly didn't like the final product at all. I mean, if there is a bright side, it does make me want to play Warcraft 3 because I feel like they would explain what happened better. So yeah, something for future peeps to look into, I don't know. Now this part I did want to add, just because I know people talk about the retcons in a negative light. I'm going to give you my thoughts. I get your anger, and I get your frustration. Warcraft is one of those games that has a very thick lore base, and fucking with it too much really wrecks your immersion into that game. And I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat this part either. Shadowlands retconned the Lich King. We know this. Does that ruin the novel? No. Does it ruin Arthas' story? No. Not yet. Hear me out. Just for a second, hear me out. Warcraft's been running for 20 plus years. Nobody expected this when they were writing Arthas. So they had no idea that stuff may come back one day, and they had their own set ways of how they wanted it done at the time. So I'm not 100% against them trying to tie things together. However, I am watching Arthas with a grain of salt. Now, to be fair, I know nothing of 9.1. Not a damn thing. If you know me even a little bit, you know that I avoid all spoilers because I want to experience it myself. So I don't know anything about what's coming up with Arthas, how much is coming up, if anything. I just know he's there. That's it. So I'm reserving my judgment to see what they do with him. Because it's very possible that this retcon really changes how we view him and the story becomes either more cohesive or we enjoy where it went. I want to know what they're going to do with it. I'm curious. But I'm also not afraid to say, listen, y'all fucked up. So I'm watching the next section with a grain of salt and hoping everything turns out okay. So deep down, I really didn't like the book. I think I made that pretty clear. Personally, I'd love to see it redone completely, preferably in 2 books, preferably written by Christie Golden. But I do suggest buying any of the newer books. They're very good. But it comes down to what you think. Did you like the book? Yes, no? Let me know in the comment section down below, and be nice to each other. Again, we all love this game. We only want to see it at its best. If you like this video though, give me a big old thumbs up. If you didn't, well, cool. Be honest with me. I'm a big girl. Trust me, I can handle it. Bonus points if you tell me why you didn't like it. Feedback is the best way to improve. And if you like Warcraft, lore, deep dives, books, me, or just nerdy shit in general, you're in the right spot. Hit that subscribe button. And while you're down there, ring that bell. That way you'll get notifications for all my upcoming videos where I'm uploading twice a week. Alright, we'll have a legendary day. Thanks so much for being here. And I can't wait to see you guys again on the next one. Bye. Oh, so you're the sword of an invisible king, and you want me to give up my entire kingdom and all of my kingly shit to follow your invisible ass? Sure, sounds good. Sign me up.